What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and Colonel and Dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing this evening?
Doing good. I'm feeling good. It's been I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shaky on that intro because we didn't do a show last week due to Labor Day, and the week before I was out because I was on vacation. So I was
That's right. So it's been a little bit since
it's been a minute since I said those words, but so
gave us time to clean up the burn marks on. Never mind.
Okay.
Continue.
Did I miss some? I don't know.
No.
Okay, I'll ask JJ about it. So
Everything's
also joining us here in the virtual studio with me is the heavyweight podcasting champion of the world, JJ Purdom.
What's up, boys? Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. Garrett, it's nice to have you back. We had a lot of fun, Adrian and I, without you on the show. I mean, a lot of fun. Like, surprisingly more fun than I really thought we were going to have. Really, probably the greatest episode of all time. But it's great to see you back.
All right.
Probably the greatest piece of media that's ever been recorded.
Agreed. It was like a masterpiece.
They put it in the American Film Library, and it's not even a film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how does that work?
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I did still edit the show, you guys know, right? I listened to it and edited it and
Oh yeah. Okay, so it doesn't just automatically come out perfect at the end of the night then, is it?
No. Yeah, so some of those things you said, like Garrett remembers that. Just know that. Garrett, a little fallout, a little notification comes up. Garrett will remember that, So, just
okay.
saying,
There's another one under it that says, "But Garrett won't do anything about that."
No, he's got nothing. You got no power, son.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right, and I hate it. Yeah. Well, we're back and better than ever. How have you guys been doing? It's been a couple weeks for me. Been a week for all of us. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing great. I started my new job last week, so I'm in week 2 right now.
Nice.
And so I had a couple of days in the field, feel amazing doing what I love to do, a paid assassin. And I kill bugs, in case you're listening for the first time. I don't actually kill human beings.
Not intentionally, anyways.
Yeah, right. There was that one time, but that lady totally deserved it. She looked at me side-eyed. You know what I mean? But no, it's been great getting back into the pest control field. I love it. I've been doing a lot of like at-home training over the course of the end of the last week and then into this week. And funny enough, I am way ahead of everybody else, and that's the first time it's ever happened in my life. Where they came and had a little interview with me over the phone and a little video chat this morning and said, like, yeah, you're probably going to get done like 2 days early. And you can kind of just do whatever you want those other 2 days, and then they'd ask me questions. And then they were taking notes while I was talking. And I'm like, am I just being that crazy? But I'm giving them direction. And they're like, that's really interesting. We'll have to look into that. So there. No, it was pretty cool,
You're
man.
Just
so
like
I'm
schooling
glad
your new company. They're like, oh, this guy knows more than us. Like, what the?
Well, funny enough, yeah, there was a little bit of me going, why don't you do it like this? And they were like, that's a great point. And I'm like, I know, because I came up with it. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this job.
Oh man, cool. Adrian, how have you been doing?
I've been making it, man. Been a little shaky lately, I don't know what it is, but I just been a little tired, a little worn out. I think I just need thinking about taking a little time off of the old socials, just kind of recharge.
Yeah, I get that.
And that could totally be a lack of Dubby. So
I'm gonna that too. That's true. I have run out of my Dubby supply, so.
You want to get some of that grape grenade, and that'll give you that pep in your step.
Galaxy grenade.
It'll also make your penis hard.
You gotta get the flavor right.
Okay, A, that's not a flavor, and B, trust me, I don't need help with that. I'm good.
Well, everybody can use a little bit of confidence where it counts. You know what I mean?
Good to go.
And it's not grape grenade. You sure?
You could call me Arby's, man. I got the meat.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. That was
I'm here.
That was
you can talk like that when I wasn't here.
Watch. Some people are going to be sliding into the DMs like big time right now. Like,
Oh,
hey,
no.
I heard you use the RB tagline. I just want to know, accurate?
Why
not
do you think they
accurate?
say it like that? It's meant to
Arby's,
evoke
we
that
have the
feeling in
meat.
people. Come on now.
Oh yeah. No, I get excited about it.
See?
All right. Well, today we're going to be talking about the big announcements from
It's too
Ubisoft
late.
Forward and D23.
The cat's out the bag. Don't even try to have decorum about it. All right? I'm JJ today. I'm making the JJ jokes today.
I love
We're
it.
switching it up.
It's
Oh, no.
about damn time.
Oh, no.
In a minute.
All right. Today we are talking about the big announcements from Ubisoft Forward and the D23 events. Also, Bonnie Ross exiting 343 on short notice. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash and Eddie Martin, and also our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, and Kajoma01. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month and get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show or, excuse me, another show we have, Adrian hosted, the Super Gamer Book Club. And the brand spanking new episode out is Amori. We talk about the game Amori, which is just... It's a game. It was a special guest, Ray from twitch.tv/RayToRat. Boy, that was
That was a doozy.
that was a doozy. That was one where like pretty much the whole episode where at any moment anyone could have just started crying probably.
Right.
Like
We had to basically form a pseudo support group at that point.
Yeah, that game is an emotional roller coaster. High highs, low lows. Quality, it's just a high all the way. Like, it's a fantastic game. Like, don't get us wrong, great game, but just be ready to like if you haven't go to twitter.com, go to Adrian's page at Homeboy, and he posted, he retweeted Ray's reaction that she did live on Twitch, where when she finished the game, she literally broke down sobbing live on Twitch, like in front of everyone. And it was like, oh my gosh.
That was a raw display of emotion right there. I respect the heck out of her for doing that, for
100%.
recording that.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I would have been like, no, I'm ending stream, but she's just like, no, let it keep rolling. Like, this game just wrecked me. So, yeah, if you want to hear us talk about it, support us on Patreon. Check that out. If you're on the fence about supporting us and want to check out a sick new episode that's doing really well on YouTube for some reason. Most of our book club episodes get like a couple views here and there. This one's up to 41 views already. It's only been out for a couple days.
Which one is this?
The Crisis Core,
Crisis
Final
Core?
Fantasy
Yeah.
VII with Jeremy from Video Games A Comedy Show. So very awesome guest on there. Speaking of Video Games A Comedy Show, Adrian and I were just on his show over the weekend. I think it's up live now, at least for Patreon supporters. So go check that out. And Adrian, have you announced, did you do it last week where you announced this month's game? Or I'm not sure. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did, but if
Okay.
you didn't hear, it's 2064 Read-Only Memories. It's an AI murder mystery adventure that takes place in the year 2064 in San Francisco. That's all I'm
Yeah.
going to say about it. Go play it.
I fired it up the other night. I picked it up on, I own it like a million other places because they're always going away for free. So I think I have it on PlayStation. I have it on PC. I'm like, you know what? I want to play this in my bed, and I don't have to come down in my office and play. So I got on Switch, and dude, like,
Smart.
it feels so good on Switch. Looks gorgeous with the OLED.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like a point and click game, like adventure game. So it's all just like, move your little cursor around and select the different items in the room. What can you do to interact with them? And it's so much
Music's
fun.
great. It's fully voice acted.
It's great.
It's a
So
gem.
I've only just scratched the surface, played a little bit. So I'm excited to dive into that and talk about it at the end of this month. We will talk more about all of that Patreon stuff later. But right now I want to give a quick shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. You hopefully hear the music, the lovely music in the background right now. Thank you so much. You can find their stuff over on Spotify and Apple Music. Links to Spotify in the description below. And you can also find, I believe, as Yate's music over on Bandcamp. Jack Sriracha is not over there. Yate is. I just went through because it was Bandcamp Friday last week, 2 weeks ago, and I bought all this stuff on there. I was like, I'm getting it all. So go support them. They are fantastic. All right, it's now time to check the mail.
Well met, good sirs. Hello, is this the three gentlemen known as the Super Gamer Boys?
It is. Are you the delivery person?
As of now, yes. The name's Crumgrim. I'm a mountain dwarf, and unfortunately, barbarian work isn't much money at the moment, so I'm currently doing side jobs. Unfortunately, I'm not only doing the post, but also part-time running and assistant managing a Domino's down the road. So I've brought you a post today. And if you're not aware, and in case this is an audio podcast only, Cromgrim is wearing what is called a singlet. I had found this pair of yellowed BBD underwear worn by a human male, and I ripped the armholes out of the side and wear the waistband over my shoulders as somewhat of a tunic. It's yellowed with age and somewhat smells like urine.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, I guess, for delivering that. Can we have it, please? So where I'm confused as to where.
Oh, Cromgrim always forgets. It's much easier for Cromgrim to just hold it in his man pocket. Hold on.
Yeah, you could take that one, Garrett. You could take that. I'm not touching that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Just blow it off a little bit here. It'll be fine.
That wasn't a pocket. That was just your butt crack. You just pulled that from your butt.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, good day to you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Don't
Guys,
come
I kind
back.
of like him. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm getting like some good vibes off of that guy. Like, and he made me feel tall. So I'm right on Cromgrim. Is Cromgrim?
Maybe we'll just have him start leaving stuff at the door. How about that? Instead
Yeah, I don't know. I might buy him a little satchel or something. I think he needs a bag. He needs a better way of carrying things than shoving it between his butt crack, right?
Won't lie, kind of weird he pulled it out of his ass. That was super odd. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have the questions here now. I'll see if I can read them between the...
Garrett, you might want to use some hand sanitizer, buddy.
Yeah, between the sweat and the skid marks here. All right, this first question comes from CJM. And they ask, which game has the most annoying theme music that always gets stuck in your head?
You guys can go.
Okay. So for me, it's Sonic. I hear the Sonic music constantly, like all the time. It's a constant theme in my head, and I feel like I played it too much at the perfect age in high school that it's just there, and I just hear that music all the time, and it's super freaking annoying.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
just
good.
like that.
That's so good.
No, it's not. Not when you can't get rid of it. I need to excise it like the butt goblins that are coming out of Cromgrim's ass. You know, I mean, dude, it's horrible.
Oh, no.
What, you guys know what a butt goblin is?
No, never heard of it. No idea. For me, it's something that like didn't start out annoying, and in moderation it's annoying, but it's what makes it annoying is the fact that it gets stuck in your head and then doesn't go away. And it was recently I refound it because I finally fired up that Wii you gave me, JJ, and I got a bunch of games on there, and I've been playing that a lot. And I happened to go to the Wii shop. And
There's a Wii shop still?
it's not active, but I just clicked on it to see if it would work, and it fired up, and you hear the dun 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 dun.
Sweet
Dun
serotonin.
dun 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 dun, like that smooth jazz, like from the theme, it's phenomenal. Like I sat there for like a minute, just like, oh yes, like this is so good. But then the problem is, then forever I'm just like, just like humming it to myself and like, no, stop it, no, get out of my head, leave me alone.
Hey, Garrett, real quick sidebar before you continue with that. you're going to want to go ahead and file the serial number off the side of that thing. Just go ahead and do that the quick as you can. In fact, while we're recording, I'd go ahead and have the wife Trudy go ahead and file that off. Just saying.
What?
Don't ask questions. We'll talk about it off the air. Don't ask questions.
What's happening?
Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm scared now. Is my family in danger?
No, not as long as she gets that damn numbers filed off right now.
Okay. All right. Well, Adrian, oh shoot. While I'm texting my wife, Adrian, what's your answer?
So this is going to be a really deep cut. I don't expect you guys to know about it, but there was, in the early days of the Game Boy Advance, Konami made a Mario Kart clone that's called Konami Crazy Racers. And yeah, I know.
Does that have
and
Snake?
it had like racers
Solid
from
Snake?
all their it was I don't think so. I don't think he was in there. But
Darn
it was from all like their older like Super Nintendo era IP.
Okay.
They would have all the characters be racers in it. And in Japan it's called YY Racing. So you have to look it up, dude. As soon as you hear it, you'll understand why it can get stuck in your head so easy. Just type Konami Crazy Racers theme song and listen to it for like 30 seconds and you'll understand exactly how quickly it could get stuck in your head. But I remember getting that game and starting that up and just singing that or hearing that the entire day. I wish there was a way for me to like play it over the speakers. Maybe you could like add it into the background when I'm talking or something. I don't know. But
the
entire
soundtrack is on YouTube. Look at this. 48 minutes of just pure Konami Crazy Racer soundtrack bliss.
But yeah, that theme song is something else, dude.
Oh man, I will definitely have to check that out. CJM also asked another question here. With The Last of Us show being released soon, I would like to know which other games do you think would make a good TV series? Personally, I would love to see a Red Dead Redemption show.
Oh, that'd be so great. Like, we all know that I'm like a huge fan of Red Dead. So like that would be a lot of fun.
I would be down for a Red Dead show too. Like Western TV shows, like there's not a ton of them. And when they do come out, like a lot of times they're really good. Like I heard incredible things about like Yellowstone. I think it's on Peacock. My buddy Derek was talking about like Yellow, and he's like, oh, it's incredible. Fantastic show. Like anything that's like Western cowboy, like that type of thing. So
yeah. I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd kind of like to see Horizon Zero Dawn. I thought like the old aesthetic of like the old, like ancient stuff they're finding that's just really like new technology.
Hey, whoa, spoilers.
Oh, okay.
That game's 5 years old. Spoilers.
I haven't beat that game yet, dude.
You ain't beating it now.
No.
Want to hear something crazy? Is I literally bought the sequel and then was like, oh wait, I never played the first one, so I own both of them and haven't played either.
And everybody else did the same thing. They bought it and basically never played it, or they played it and got bored.
Well, what happened with the first one? I bought it, played a little bit, and then Breath of the Wild was out. Yeah, and then the second one, I bought it, realized I hadn't played the first one, started playing the first one again, and then Elden Ring came out. And I was like,
how do you get steamrolled twice?
You get both times that they've dropped that game, both the first one and the sequel, like a bigger game came out, and it's like, well, sorry, like I'm gonna go play over that. That's real shiny. I'm going over there.
At this point, if I'm Gorilla, I'm like, all right, well, we're hanging this up for a while.
Yeah.
Horizon is done for a minute.
Is nobody talked about the game either. It's like Elden Ring came in and like just smashed it.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because the game looks pretty amazing. Nobody that I know that's played it has said that it was bad in any way, but that it wasn't like incredible. It wasn't like Elden Ring level of like, just like, man, I can't stop thinking about it or talking about it type of game.
Well, that's what I heard too, is that it's not badly made. I heard it's just kind of pretty boring because it's the same thing from the first one over again. It's like, well, what can you do?
We've already done this. Right.
Yeah.
I've already done this. I just didn't do it in 4K last time.
Right.
A game that would make a good TV series. I don't know. I think boy, this is tricky. There was a game I was talking about this the other day that would make a really good like anime or something, or like a cartoon animated thing.
Mhm.
What was it?
I got one too.
I'm trying to remember. You go first because maybe it'll jog my memory. Because I was just talking with someone the other day about it. Unless you're still thinking on yours, but
No,
Oh.
Astral Chain would be
Ooh.
an incredible anime.
yeah.
I don't know if you have ever. I think there's a demo for it. But,
I think I just played the demo of it.
Yeah, that would be an incredible anime. It's already looks like one. It has the mannerisms of one, the design of one.
Mhm.
It's basically going to be one at some point, or a manga or something to expand the lore. Especially when the second one. What if that's tomorrow at the Direct?
Oh yeah, yeah. By the way, there's a big Nintendo Direct and PlayStation State of Play tomorrow as we're recording this.
Whoa.
maybe,
Okay.
maybe,
Well, you gotta go
maybe
now.
get the sequel. That did not jog my memory. I do not remember the game I was thinking, but honestly, I don't know. Like I've talked about it before. I think it'd be cool to have like a because we've got this question. A lot of these questions, good questions repeat themselves. It just means it's a good, interesting question that has different answers over time. But it's been a while, so I'm going to repeat it. A Crash Bandicoot cartoon, I think, would be really fun.
Because
At this point, like, the games are fun and all, but like it's just more of the same. Where but those characters are great. Like as far as gameplay is, like there's only so much you can do, I feel like, to an extent. But like I would love to keep seeing that property, and even like a way to just introduce it to my kids. Like okay, they're not quite the age to like be able to play it and get through level, because I mean that game is harder than you probably remember. It definitely was harder than I remember when I got when they remastered it. I'm like, oh, this game is tricky. But yeah, to have like a TV, like a little cartoon or something, like I think it'd be really cool to interact, with those characters in that world. It's such a goofy set of like the enemies are so crazy. Like you forget, like what is it, freaking and Cortex, the main villain, he has like just a big head with a giant N tattooed in the middle of it. And Jin literally has like a rocket in the side of his head that like is still like the engine still firing, like flames blasting out of that, like so ridiculous. Tiny is like a giant like mutated tiger. So it'd be a blast. I think it'd be cool if they made that into like a little cartoon series.
Are we still going to be getting that Twisted Metal series that Sony was like pushing? Like
I think it was last week or the week before I saw that they just finished filming it.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
look it
surprised.
up
I mean,
right
we hadn't really heard anything for a while, so I was just like, it's such a random to pick something from PlayStation 1, just some old IP, and go, let's make a TV show out of this racer. It was so random.
Yeah, here it is. 2 weeks ago, so it would have been the episode that you guys did without me. Twisted Metal is officially wrapped filming. The action comedy series based on the iconic PlayStation video game franchise will feature an all-star lineup with Will Arnett, Anthony Mackie, Thomas Hayden Church, Stephanie Beatrice, and Neve Campbell. Nev Campbell, based on a script by Deadpool co-writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. Twisted Metal is set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, follows John Doe, played by Anthony Mackie. So it sounds bonkers. Like I am not sure how I feel about it. Like it has like some decent actors in there and some decent writers in there, but it's like the premise.
It has people I would never expect to be in a Twisted Metal series. Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, well, that's when I first saw that. I was like, Anthony Mackie, like what the of now Captain. He's the new Captain America. Like, what is he doing? Literally playing John Doe. So random. Yeah, we will see how that turns out, though. Well, if it even sees the light of day, I guess. This last question comes to us from Kajoma, and he asked, what are good video game soundtracks for studying? Currently, have every Supergiant game, a Minecraft, Levelhead, and Destiny song on my playlist. So, what are some good video game soundtracks that you guys like to listen to or jam out to, study to?
I love Red Dead Redemption 2. Actually, I've listened to some of that. Some of the music from that is really great. And when I'm doing any kind of studying, it's really reassuring and relaxing, and helps for me to like open up my mind and like be able to ingest what it is I'm reading. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I gotta like read it a second or third time to like make sure that I have it. And sometimes when I play music along with that, it helps. It just really, I don't know, it primes the pump a little bit and makes it easier. But I love Red Dead.
Okay, all right. I know everyone's probably going to think I'm going to say Death Stranding, but psych. I love the God of War soundtrack. So good.
Really?
So
to study
good. To study to, yes. It's
What's 2 + 2? That's what you want to hear in your ear?
Dude, it's so good. Listen to it. Have you listened to it? It's fantastic. But have you listened? Like, I know you played the game, but have you listened to the soundtrack?
Yes, I've listened to the soundtrack, sir.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's perfect for studying and like working on stuff. Like I play it all the time. I love it. Because it has like the softer, more chill songs, but then like when the songs get big and epic, like it's like boom, 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 and it's like, you know, getting into it. It's almost like, yeah, like
now do division.
It's the juices just start flowing. Like, all right, yeah, the climax of studying, hitting it there. Fantastic soundtrack. I highly recommend it. You guys are the worst. Also, something I realized the other day. I don't know if you guys have been watching the new Lord of the Rings show, but it's the music is composed by the same guy. The God of War soundtrack.
I'm not surprised. What's his name? Bear something?
Yeah, I can't remember the last name. Bear. All that comes up is Bear Grylls. That's not his name.
Yeah, be careful with that search. If you type in bear into your Google search, you're going to come up with some funny stuff.
You keep saying this, and I always ask you every time why you know this.
Bear McCreary.
There we go. I'm not letting you off the hook. I said, how come you know this?
Because sometimes you just type stuff, and then, you know, without thinking, and then you're like, whoa, how did I get on this site 3 hours later? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
I mean, do your thing. I just want to know how you came
no
across
judgment. Yeah. Accident. Mostly.
Likely story.
Curiosity, somewhat.
Yeah, so if you want good music, go with Barry McCreary. God of War and Lord of the Rings. You can't go wrong.
I'll give you a hot 3. Here we go. The Jet Grind Radio soundtrack.
Okay.
Number 1. Number 2, a soundtrack from a game not a lot of people played called No Straight Roads. There was a bunch of different bands that came in and worked on that. A lot of artists. There's a lot of different styles of songs on there. That's definitely something to check out. And then there is a pseudo sports game called Lethal League Blaze. And it has an excellent soundtrack as well. So all 3 of those I would recommend. I would also recommend that you play those games, of course. But if you're looking for just something to listen to, there you go.
Awesome. There you go. 3 for 1 deal. You're welcome, Kajoma. All right. It is now time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy news.
Yes. It's been too long since I've heard that. All right. This first news story. It's kind of 2 news stories. We're talking about, first we're going to hit on the Ubisoft Forward event. They announced a bunch of stuff. There is new stuff about the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle game that looked awesome. I'm sure there's other announcements. I didn't really look too much into it because the big news that came out was definitely the Assassin's Creed series news. We haven't heard from them in a while, other than just things are going to be changing. They're working on some big changes. Had a lot of people worried because so far, anytime they've changed things, it hasn't necessarily turned out great. But they revealed kind of the 2 biggest announcements here. Let's start with the first one. over at IGN, Matt Purslow writes, Assassin's Creed Mirage revealed at Ubisoft Forward. Ubisoft has revealed Assassin's Creed Mirage, a new action-adventure game in the series focused on stealth and parkour. Because the other ones weren't, This is new. This is
Right.
Revealed as part of Ubisoft Forward's Assassin's Creed showcase, Assassin's Creed Mirage casts you as Basim Ibn Ishaq. I'm sure I butchered that. I apologize. And it is set in the city of Baghdad 20 years before the events of the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is designed to be a modern take on the original gameplay template for the earlier Assassin's Creed games, with developer Ubisoft Bordeaux using the same 3 design pillars as the original game: stealth, parkour, and assassinations. No gameplay was shown, but a CGI cinematic trailer focused on the rise of Basim from a simple street thief to a master assassin. He does so under the tutelage of Roshan, a Persian assassin played by Emmy Award-winning actor Shorey Aghdashloo. Narrative director Sarah Beaulieu said that we can expect the duo's story to involve numerous historical figures, including political leaders. It goes on here is a lot, just interview-wise, not necessarily more information, but it's kind of more of what I've read here. But the gist of what I think they're trying to get across is they are going back to the roots a little bit. And that's why they mentioned the parkour, the stealth assassinations, because I joked about that. But honestly, the last 3 games have been more focused on the open world aspect and like running around in these wide open spaces. And yeah, when you're in the cities, there's a little bit of stealth going on and some parkour, but even the controls and the mechanics change within the game. So like it wasn't necessarily as fluid as it was in those earlier games. So I don't know, how do you guys feel? I'm not sure you guys' history with Assassin's Creed, but are you guys kind of excited for maybe like a return to form to the older games in the franchise, or do you like the newer games?
No, so I don't like the newer games. I'm not a big fan of the super open world. Like, yeah, it just felt like they were stretching to try to make it as large as possible with that open world concept, and I felt like it worked better in the more traditional linear sense of going, okay, there's like we're not so worried about going out. It's like you're stretching out the game too much.
Yeah,
I felt
and even those old games, what was nice is it still felt open world because there was still a huge city, but yeah, like you're saying, like there was kind of like a more
totally different feel. Yeah, and I feel like if they get back to what made Assassin's Creed so popular in the beginning, that they have a better chance of being successful. It's like right now, I don't think that the Assassin's Creed titles are doing so well financially that if one comes out, it's gonna do very good, So I think if they're saying, hey, this is like playing into the way that it used to be, that you have a better chance of catching some of those old gamers that used to love the way that the earlier games were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are your thoughts, Adrian?
I like the most recent Assassin's Creed that I really dug was Odyssey. Okay. And that also was a major departure from the original because while it was probably the last one I think that kind of tried to keep some of the assassin in Assassin's Creed. Like you could still go around and basically take everybody in a base out without being seen if you could do it well enough. And then I don't know, they just kind of fell off a cliff after that and we're just going to be an adventure game that sometimes you can sneak up on people, but
well, I'm excited to see the only one since then was Valhalla. Like before that was Origin, and even Origin, right. I didn't feel like Origin was kind of like rode the line, and maybe they went back to it. And I never played Odyssey. Maybe they went back to an Odyssey, but I played Valhalla, and yeah, you're right. They totally departed from it completely.
Yeah, it's just a beat 'em up at that point. No, but I'm excited to see a return to the return to form, basically back to the 1, 2, 3 era of it, where you really you were an assassin, and that's what made you feel cool, was pulling off all these stealth kills and not being seen and being able to slip back into the public and just kind of walk away after you give a guy a good couple to the gut.
Yeah, totally. And even like for me too, like just seeing the trailer, I was like, oh, like it just got me hyped because it has like a similar not the same setting, but like a similar feel to the setting is like even like the first game, like how, because the first one was a different time period, but a similar part of the world, if I remember right. And so it's like, oh yeah, man, like I don't know, it just feels like a fun little refresh. Like, okay, a way to like reboot and restart with like, oh, but it is different. Like it's not actually a reboot of the first one. It's like, oh, it's different time period, different part of the world a little bit, or different at least kingdom and stuff that they're exploring there. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it. But they announced some other games as well, and honestly, these ones look pretty awesome too. So what's something interesting happening with Assassin's Creed games, and we'll get into it in this article, but to kind of preface it, it seems like they're going to start releasing more games and having, though, like they're going to have a gameplay style for everyone. So Mirage, I think, is the most recent one that's going to come out. But they announced 2 other games. Assassin's Creed right now just has a codename Red, and then the other one is I think codename Hex. And
which one's the Japan one?
Codename Red is the one that's supposed to take place in Japan, which looks incredible. And that's supposed to be more open world, like kind of like what we've been getting with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. And then Hex is, they didn't announce where it takes place, but based off of the trailer and kind of the iconography you see, people are thinking it's going to take place in around like the 1600s, like witch trials in the Roman, or is that what it says here? I forget. I mean, we'll get to it when we read the article, but the Bamberg witch trials in the 1600s. So very interesting, kind of like, I don't know. They always have some fun supernatural stuff in the Assassin's Creed games, so it's like, ooh, like diving into some like that witchcraft and like the witch trials and stuff like that could be kind of a cool, like creepy setting, almost like an Assassin's Creed horror game. That'd be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But anyways, let's get into this article by Matt Purslow, because the more interesting thing is how these games aren't just going to stand alone. They are a part of this thing called Assassin's Creed Infinity. So the title here is
again.
Assassin's Creed Infinity announced with 2 new games. So Ubisoft has officially revealed Assassin's Creed Infinity, a new platform and hub for Assassin's Creed games. It has also revealed the first 2 games that will be part of Infinity, one that will follow the rise of a shinobi, the life of a shinobi in feudal Japan, and another helmed by Watchdog Legion director Clint Hocking. Revealed today.
No!
Yeah, I don't know about that. Revealed today as part of Ubisoft Forward's Assassin's Creed showcase. They explained that Infinity is not a game per se. It's going to be the single entry point for our fans in the Assassin's Creed franchise into the future. Infinity is going to be a hub that will unite all of our different experiences and our players together in meaningful ways. That hub will be a place where different games will exist, and that appears to start with Assassin's Creed Codename Red, described Cote as being the next premium flagship title in the future of our open-world RPG games. Codename Red is set in feudal Japan, a historical period frequently requested by fans. A very brief trailer showed off a shinobi jumping into a pitched roof and then unsheathing their hidden blade. That's all that has been seen so far. And then, yeah, to talk about Hex. A trailer for Codename Hex was shown, but it has revealed nothing about the setting or main character. It did, however, hint towards an unusual direction for the series. The Assassin's Creed triangular logo, made of twigs and twine, was shown hanging from a tree branch, kind of like a Blair Witch Project kind of looking thing. Much like a witchcraft talisman, the game's main logo features a talisman positioned over a rune-filled design in the shape of a heptagram, 7-pointed star, based on the eerie music used in the trailer. That imagery and the Hex name, which is a German word for witch. Could Assassin's Creed be exploring the topic of witch hunts? Yeah, the games sound awesome, but what are your guys' thoughts about this hub? Like, how do you think this is going to work? Because I'm having a hard time putting the pieces together. So when I go to my PlayStation, I'm going to open up Assassin's Creed Infinity, and is it going to boot into like a world that I can run around in and then go to these areas like in the Animus, like that? Because that's always been a part of the Assassin's Creed. Or is it literally just an app I open, and then from the app I just open another game, like another app? Like, I don't understand.
Welcome to Ubisoft's Tom Clancy's Assassin's Creed X-Blade universe.
X-Defiant.
Rainbow.
Yeah, don't forget Rainbow
Six.
Six. Yeah, Rainbow Six.
No, this is what they're doing. They're setting up the Assassin's Creed. I guess it's not a cinematic, so the AGU, the Assassin's Gaming Universe.
I mean, but they already had one. Like that's been the story in all of them, is they're all connected anyways, right? So I don't understand why they need to have a hub. Like, what is this?
I don't know. Money. We can make multiple versions of different games at the same time.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. You know, no other teams have ever, suffered from being spread out and having their workload, unevenly distributed. But go ahead, Ubisoft. You just got yourself out of the hole by not being bought by Vivendi. But hey, do your thing.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to understand, but I would hazard a guess that it's probably going to be one screen, title screen, and then the type of thing where you can actually just pull up and go to the different worlds. So it's going to be similar to like buying the Uncharted game that has all the Uncharted games in it and being able to choose which Uncharted game you want to go to. It's just going to be something like that. I doubt that it's going to be anything more than...
It just seems so weird, though, because like they're talking as if like every new Assassin's Creed game that's going to come out from here on out, other than Mirage, I think, is going to be part of this Assassin's Creed Infinity. So it's like, so basically, instead of buying a game, are you just buying DLC then at that point? And the DLC is the game? Like, it's such a weird way to do that. I don't know. It's like, say, like, no matter which way you cut it, like, it doesn't make any sense, whether it's like a hub world that you can play in, or if it's like what JJ's saying, and yeah, like where it's just a menu, like that's so it's like, okay,
Assassin's Creed Royale.
Yeah,
like it was your favorite assassin.
Yeah,
take all the other ones out.
If it was a hub world, I mean, something like that could be kind of cool. If you have a character that you can go and play in any of those worlds, yeah, that's fantastic. That's fun.
Like a character you create.
Yeah, like you create a character that can then go and play in any of those different environments, and that's kind of neat. But it doesn't sound like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
just based on the limited information they put out there with it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to obviously just wait for some real information before we can know for sure. But it sounds wonky. Like it doesn't make sense. Like I don't understand how it's gonna be viable at all, because it just seems confusing. So it's like, okay, the new Assassin's Creed game is out now. You can't buy it though. You have to go to Assassin's Creed Infinity app on your PlayStation 5 and buy it through our Assassin's Creed Infinity store. It basically, it sounds like a way to get around using the PlayStation store and PlayStation getting a cut, right? Like, is that what it is here?
Listen, it's just like if that's the case and PlayStation finds out about this, that game will be off of the store immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
are you kidding?
Yeah, I mean that's basically like what's going on with Apple and Epic, with like microtransactions and Fortnite and stuff. So it's like, is that what Ubisoft is doing? Is like, oh, you can just buy the new game through our marketplace, and then it unlocks in Assassin's Creed Infinity. It's like, I don't think that's going to last long if that's what's happening, because people like their money. Sony likes their money, Oh man, crazy. So either way, I'm excited about the games. Like, yeah, Mirage sounds fantastic, a fun like return to form. And then, okay, if you're looking for these open world games, we're getting this Codename Red, which looks awesome. Everyone's always been asking for this feudal Japan, kind of time period.
It makes the most sense.
It's fantastic. And then I'm stoked for a freaking Assassin's Creed horror game. Like, that sounds awesome. So I'm all about it. All right, let's move on to the next story here. We got some big D23 news, specifically the Disney Marvel Games Showcase. There was quite a few announcements throughout the time, most of which were mobile games. I was surprised at how many mobile games there were they announced. But there was kind of two big heavy hitters that got me excited. First one here, Uncharted director Amy Hennig's new Marvel game stars Captain America and Black Panther. As part of the Marvel Game Showcase today during D23, Disney officially announced the next game from Uncharted director Amy Hennig and Skydance Media with cinematic trailer. Somewhat weirdly, though, the announcement left off one key piece of information, the game's title. So no one knows what it's called yet, but this was actually the rumored game that I think we talked about on an episode actually about a month or so ago. But it's a team up between Captain America and Black Panther during World War II as they take on the forces of Hydra. The cinematic trailer swept through a snowy 1940s Paris and showed the two heroes together as they prepare to fight someone. The final image in the trailer revealed the game will star 4 heroes, not 2, with the words King, Captain, Soldier, and Spy playing over the footage, which gives a sense of the role of the other 2 characters. Amy Hennig and writer Mark Bernardin shared more details during the showcase, discussing the fact that the game follows a very young Captain America during his formative years, a Wakandan king, Azuri, the grandfather of T'Challa, as well as 2 other characters, Gabriel Jones, a U.S. soldier, and the only black member of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, the founder of the Wakandan Spy Network. The game also draws some inspiration from the Flags of Our Fathers comic book arc, which was published in 2010. The tagline 4 heroes, 2 worlds, 1 war also suggested we'll see the game taking place in Wakanda as well as Europe. The showcase didn't provide too much else in the way of solid details. It sounds like this will be an action-adventure game, although Hennig also said we're doing some different stuff. So I'm super stoked about this. I mean, obviously it's just
Absolutely.
a cinematic trailer. So we didn't get too much detail, and it's all CG, so it can look like anything they want. But
Look amazing. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like it looks, they did its job. It looks incredible,
Yep.
and
I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that it's nothing like the Avengers game or what's
We're
the
all
other
hopeful
game?
for that.
Yeah.
What was the other one that came out that was the game like that? The Batman's one, the Gotham Knights.
That one hasn't even come out yet, but yeah, like
No,
but it's yeah, you're right. It's kind of like that same,
but that same type of like just crap. Like you're just skinning it
kinda
with
thing.
I'm just not a fan. But I think that trailer showed a lot of promise, and I hope they deliver. And if it's got Amy Hennig as part of it, it should be amazing.
I trust Amy implicitly. Whatever she wants to do, she's earned that title, that recognition and space in the industry. So do whatever you want. I'll be there. She's one of the few that I can say that about.
Yeah. I'm excited because like it's a new time period for Marvel. It's not just modern day. They are doing a new like set of characters, so it's like not the Captain America, it's a young one. It's not the Black Panther, it's actually, that his grandfather. Yeah. So
which is awesome to be able to go in, like if there's really going to be gameplay in Wakanda, like, dude, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's a different thing like that we've never got to experience before. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then even like it mentions, like it just kind of another article I read mentioned it, but Nanali, the founder of the Wakandan Spy Network, the other article I read, apparently it's actually the beginning of that Wakandan Spy Network. So like to kind of see how that, like almost as if like World War II spurred that on, like, oh, there's a lot of like crazy like stuff going on in the world, like all the,
we need to keep tabs on
kind of tactical espionage happening across the world during that time. So like Wakanda kind of like building up their own like internal spy network, which is super cool. And then, I'm excited. I hope too, because it says, 4 heroes, and like they're emphasizing how it's 4 different characters. Yeah, I really hope it doesn't turn into a multiplayer thing. What would be awesome is if it is more like a AI,
everybody else is AI, and you play one character.
Well,
or it's scripted events.
Even like what would be even better is like maybe you very rarely see them together, and you almost just see like vignettes. Like I think of like Battlefield 1. Or like a medal, or like the old Call of Duty games or the old Medal of Honor games. Remember how there would be like 2 or 3 characters that you would play as throughout the campaign. Like you would go and you would jump in at different points. So like even that would be awesome. Like maybe they cross paths once or twice, but the idea of like just telling multiple stories in one. So it's almost like a movie, like, like where you're seeing different things going on.
Different perspectives. That would be kind of cool if you're getting the opportunity to play different roles through the game, which would be kind of neat. Now you're stepping into, the spy character, and you're doing that for a little bit from his perspective. Like, yeah, that would be great, actually.
Yeah, and because I really hope it's not 4 characters just so they can do like, hey, it's co-op. Like that would be so horrible.
I mean, look, we're not gonna put anything past the game. It's industry, they They only funded this kind of these games because they know they can get a return on their investment, and the best way to do that is to monetize everything. Make multiplayer, make skins, make all this.
I'm not
multiplayer.
I'm not against
And
multiplayer.
multiplayer makes money.
I'm not against
and
multiplayer.
makes money. So
Yeah, I'm not against the multiplayer mode. I'm against like just the shoot in like co-op type thing. Or I mean, like with like Avengers would have been cool if you just like could play as those heroes and there's like a normal like single player campaign or whatever. But like, yeah, it's like I hope at least the story mode specifically just focuses like one character at a time. Like I don't necessarily want co-op in the campaign. I don't care if there's a multiplayer mode. I care about the campaign being just single player. Give me a single player mode that tells a good story that isn't like wonky and, you know, just forcing these 4 people together. Make it organic, you know, even if their stories separate at times, you know. I don't know.
Remember when just a tangent. Remember when Avengers first got announced? Like at that E3, the Square Enix E3, and they're like, there's gonna be no in-game, like there is a recording of them saying there's gonna be no in-game transactions, none of that stuff. And now it's just overloaded with it.
Not only did it have those things, but I think what blew my mind is when the game was out for like a few months and they're like, we're not making enough money. So then they basically nerfed the amount of experience you would get from missions, and then added to the store a microtransaction that you could buy to multiply how much experience you were getting. So they literally were like, we're not making enough money off this, and so we're going to make it so the game gives you less, so you have to buy more. It's like, that is
insanity.
Dirty. Like
Insanity.
they didn't even hide it. They were just like, it's in the patch notes. Like when the update came out, people could read that that's what happened. It's like, oh my god.
And now you can buy that game for like $5.
Yeah.
Because nobody.
I think it was
they're
free.
giving it away. It's
yeah,
on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. I think PlayStation Plus gave it away a few months ago. Like they're just giving the thing away.
Oh, I didn't realize. When did it turn up on Game Pass?
It's been on Game Pass for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you want to try it out, JJ, go ahead. Just hold on to your
I'd
wallet
be
because they're going to try to take it from you.
Only thing it's going to take is your most valuable currency, your time.
Yeah, I don't want to lose any of that because I don't have much of that to give.
Man. Also announced at the D23 Disney Marvel Game Showcase. Comes from this. Last article was from GameSpot. This one's also from GameSpot, written by James Carr. Announced during the Disney and Marvel Game Showcase, Disney Illusion Island is a co-op platformer launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. The 2D platformer stars Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy as they travel the land of Monoth. Each character appears to have their own unique platforming ability, like Goofy floating with a giant condiment bottle and Donald Duck being able to swim underwater. The game can be played in up to 4-player co-op, with each player controlling one of the different characters. 4 characters must travel to 3 different biomes across Monoth to find 3 mystical books and save the world from disaster. This is one I know Adrian was hyped about, so tell us about it, Adrian.
So stoked. So I was telling the boys before the show, this is basically I don't know if they're gonna call it a spiritual successor because it has been so long, but back on, all right, gather around, kiddies, gather around, youngins who are listening. Back in the old days, there was a video game system called the Sega Genesis.
Oh wow.
And Disney made some games on there that were very, very good that starred Mickey Mouse. The first one was called Castle of Illusion, and the second one was called World of Illusion. With this one being called Illusion Island, that would only make me think that this must be the 3rd game in the series. I am a very big fan of the Illusion series, the 2 that are out right now, and seeing the art style in this one and what they are doing as far as gameplay, letting it be like 4-player couch co-op. It's going to be a Switch exclusive. I am very, very much looking forward to this. Came out of nowhere. Yeah. I never thought that they would pick that series up again, and here we are. So, yeah.
Yeah, that the art style looks awesome. It's so you were saying, yeah, it's from like the newer like shorts, like basically on Disney Plus. I haven't watched any of them, but just seeing this, I'm like, oh, I feel like I need to go watch those now. Like
they're
they look
very, very good. They don't get talked about a lot, and because I guess not a lot of people know they exist. But there's a lot of them, and they're excellent.
Yeah,
They actually make the characters feel like characters and not mascots for a giant global corporation that have to be, 100% sanitary, squeaky clean.
Interesting.
So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's cool. How many shorts are there? Like, I'm just curious. Now I'm talking about the TV show, but like, is there like a good like chunk of them?
Well, I mean, it makes sense to talk about the TV show because this is what it's based off of. The humor seems like, and the art style. There's got to be a few dozen at this point.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, go check those out, and then check out this trailer for this new game, and it looks fun.
Watch the shorts. If you like the shorts, you're probably gonna like the game.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched a little bit of the trailer earlier, and I was like, "Oh man, this looks fun." And yeah, like I said, it looks cool. Like it does looks so different from anything that I ever envision as Mickey Mouse. Like like I'm used to like classic Mickey, or like my son watches Mickey Mouse Playhouse or whatever, and like the weird 3D one.
That's what I'm saying. The really squeaky clean.
Yeah,
I don't ever do anything bad, Mickey Mouse. Yeah, that's. What you're thinking.
Yeah.
This ain't him.
And so looking at this, I'm like, oh, like these characters have character, and that's cool. But all right. Moving on here to the final news story. Bonnie Ross exiting as head of 343 Studios. The head of Halo's leaving Xbox after 15 years in charge. It's written by Jay Peters over at The Verge. Bonnie Ross, the corporate vice president of Halo developer 343 Industries, will be leaving the studio, Ross announced on Monday. While I'd hoped to stay with Halo until we release the winter update, I'm letting you know I will be leaving 343 and attending to a family medical issue, she said in a tweet. I'm incredibly proud of the work everyone at 343 Industries has done with Halo Infinite, the Master Chief Collection, the Halo television series, and so much more. Ross is departing amid widespread unhappiness and apathy over the state of Halo Infinite. While the game's campaign and multiplayer launched to generally favorably reviews last year, 343 Industries recently delayed the next multiplayer season to March of 2023 and the launch of the long-awaited Forge customization mode from September to November. Campaign mode was also delayed and then finally canceled the local split-screen co-op. Ross, who has been at Microsoft since 1994, was part of the original 343.
She's an OG.
Yeah, it was part of the original 343 Industries team when Xbox Studio was founded in 2007. So even before Xbox existed, Bonnie Ross worked at Microsoft, which is incredible.
Yep.
So Microsoft OG since 1994 with Xbox since the beginning, 2007, are pretty close to the beginning. In addition to the Halo games, 343 was also involved with the Paramount Plus Halo series, which has already been renewed for a second season. Head of production Pierre Hintz is now the studio head, effective immediately, according to a statement Xbox shared with Windows Central. So this was kind of really sad to see, especially, like we just said, like Bonnie has been with them for such a long time and been such a core.
Bonnie she's a huge reason why Xbox is where it's at in general. She's a huge reason why Halo is where it's at, working with, having Bungie work with Xbox back in the day. So she definitely, in as far as the industry is concerned, and as far as Xbox is concerned, she is a pillar for them. So I wish, her family and, of course, her all the best. I don't think that she's done in the industry, although she definitely has the career. If she wanted to be like, I'm hanging it up, she could. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel like she still has stuff that left to do that she wants to do. And hopefully, once everything settles out, she might be able to come back in a different role. Maybe she'll come back to Microsoft. Maybe she'll do her own thing. Who knows? But she's a mainstay. And she's done a lot for gaming that a lot of people don't talk about.
Yeah.
And what do they do now that she's out of the way? Who can they lean on? Do they have somebody already in place? Are they going to have to go and get somebody else?
Yeah, well, right now it's that Pierre Hintz. He was he was head of production. Now he's jumping in as studio head. But I don't know if that'll be long term or just a temporary thing. They didn't really say. So he's currently studio head, but it's sad that it's because you can tell like she loved what she did and she cared about Halo. She cared about 343. She cared about Microsoft and Xbox. So to leave in a way that's just like, oh man, like obviously for a more important thing.
Right.
Like take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of like what needs to be taken care of first.
Yeah.
But that's always I'm sure just a bummer. So I feel bad for her. But man, also to leave 343, kind of like what this article hit on, like to leave Halo Infinite and this company in like this weird spot where
it's bad optics, but at the same time,
it's not looking good over there because of just how badly Halo Infinite's been just swinging and missing. So yeah, I wish her the best and hope there's like whatever issues are arising over there that they can be solved, healing can happen, and that maybe she can get back at it. But man, I also hope that Pierre has what it takes to fill those big shoes.
Yeah.
He's better, make sure he's ready. He needs to get his running shoes on, like to keep up with what she was doing.
Well, I'm
over
sure
there.
she'll be accessible still. And Phil is also somebody who's been at Microsoft for a very long time. He was part of that crew with Bonnie. So,
right.
He's got people to rely on that are there still.
Yeah.
And that's the key, is having that support base there, so he's not trying to do stuff alone. I mean, he does have big shoes to fill. I hope she's okay, because she did some remarkable work when she was there. So,
yeah. So here's to hoping that they're good to go. And man, the 343. I just to kind of get off topic of Bonnie and focus more on the Halo Infinite thing. Like, I really hope they can turn their ship around. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this game.
We didn't get to talk about this because you weren't here. About the whole Halo debacle. I mean, I think we touched on it, but I don't know. I'm over it. I am 3 strikes, man.
Yeah. It's rough. Like, it's not like I tried to play the campaign. Like, the campaign wasn't hitting for me. It wasn't fun.
So,
like, the multiplayer was fine.
I know people who swear by that campaign, who think that campaign is great, and my feeling is I played a good amount of it, and I didn't think so. But I thought, well, maybe I'm not a big fan of that style of game. Maybe the Halo fanboys are in love with it. But you guys liked previous Halo, and you're saying you didn't think this campaign was all that.
I am a Halo 1, 2, 3 Reach ODST fanboy.
Yep.
And none of those campaigns, 4, 5, Infinite, came anywhere close to any of those other campaigns.
Yeah.
What
You
could
can
they
add
have
all
done
the
differently?
Like,
let's say you were given the opportunity, to point them in the right direction, Adrian. What could they have done at 343 to make this Infinite game different? What did it need? What was it lacking?
So they seem to want to go in the right direction, right? They went back to the beginning. A lot of the things, at least design and ethos wise, they talked about when they were talking about developing Infinite was they leaned a lot on Halo 1. They were trying to get that aesthetic and that feel back kind of, but still updated to make it look modern, which honestly, I think they did a good job of doing that, but making it look like Halo 1 and making it feel and behave and having everything that the Halo series, has brought to it is a totally different thing. The fact that all these modes are missing, all these features are missing, that were in games from, almost 20 years ago now. Are you really going to tell me that split screen co-op was possible on a system that was hundreds of times less powerful than the one that we have today, and you can't figure out how to do it? Even with Xbox One, I don't want to hear Xbox One is the reason they can't do it. Xbox One is also dozens of times powerful than the original Xbox.
Yeah,
you telling me at 720p we can't run split screen? Come on now.
That's the biggest thing for me with the game. Is like what would have made it better is just launch the full game, launch it finished with features that everyone wants, but instead they launched it broken with features missing that they know people want. And then not only that, some of those features they've decided that they're not even going to add. Originally, they said they're going to add, and now they're like, we know you really want it, but we've actually changed our mind. We said we were going to give it to you. We're not. Sorry.
Right.
We know you want it. And it's like, man, so like you put out a game that's not even finished. And then in every aspect, multiplayer and single player, like features wise, and then to say like, we promise this. Oh, actually, we're not going to do that. And it's like, man, every step of the way, it's just been like, I think
stepping on rakes.
What would have been great is like, what would have made this great is if release it all when it was actually finished. And so you didn't have to promise anything. You just say, here it is. And everyone's like, it's everything. It's good. It's great.
At least have everything that's come before you in your game.
Right.
I don't understand.
Building blocks, not like starting fresh.
Right. You can build on top of that foundation, but the fact that you don't have everything, like, how does Halo Infinite, being called Halo Infinite, not have every map that's ever been in a Halo game as a multiplayer map? It makes no sense why that's not a thing. It makes no sense why features like Battle Theater or Forge that should have been out a year ago at this point are not there. They are core mainstays in the Halo series. And even when they got their hands on it, their Forge, they had to dumb it down and scrunch it down to Halo 4. For some reason, I don't understand what exactly they had to do that for, but how are you going to tell me the older game was able to do Forge better than your game? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Absolutely crazy. So hopefully with Pierre, they can figure some stuff out over there. I don't know. Who knows?
Godspeed, you guys. I don't. Yeah. I honestly think this should be their last one. I think once this is over, we find another studio to do it. Number one, to do like a full on Halo 6 or just a Halo, and we build on that, or we nuke it, find another studio, start all the way over. That's all you can do at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely in a little bit of a pickle over there. They didn't leave themselves very many options.
Or give it back to Bungie.
There you go. A PlayStation studio.
Yay. Oh, that's right. They are a PlayStation studio now, huh? I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
I keep thinking they're independent.
Nope.
They could negotiate that, though. I mean, because there's going to be some work with
Microsoft will go out of business before they give the Halo IP up. That is the one IP they will never. Just like Sony with Spider-Man, they will go out of business before they sell Spider-Man.
All right, that's it for the news this week. Now, it is time for our Patreon ad. This is a part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there. Starting at just $1 a month, you can help us out tremendously. That helps us, make cool stuff like this show. And you can get it early and ad-free by supporting us over there. You can also get Super Gamer Book Club early, 2 months early. You could be listening to the Omori episode right now, bawling your eyes out, just how sad and tragic that game is. But instead, you're not. You're just listening to this. So what are you doing? Get over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can also support us at the $5 level. Get show notes early. $10 a month. You get shout outs on the show. $15. You can be a Patreon producer and pitch us segments for the show. Help us make this thing. And we have a lot of fun. Remember, you can also subscribe over on Twitch at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys. We stream every Monday night as we record it live, so you can join us on Monday nights or randomly throughout the week. We haven't done it in a while. Lives have been pretty busy, but we stream on there once in a while, playing some games. So if you ever see us, join us over there. And if you have Amazon Prime, that means you can link it with your Twitch account, which gives you Prime Gaming. And with that Prime Gaming, you can use your free Prime Gaming sub each and every month. You get for free. Cost you nothing, $0. And it gives us $5 if you subscribe to our channel with it. So please think about doing that. Take the 2 minutes it takes to do that. Even if you don't plan on watching us over on Twitch, throw it our way. If you don't have anyone else to throw it to, share it with us. We'd very much appreciate it. And lastly, you can also support us by heading over to dubby.gg and using our code SGB at checkout to get 10% off. And we also get a kickback as well. So that helps financially support the show. We actually got an order last week, 2 weeks ago. I think it was this last week we got an order. So thank you, whoever that was. We appreciate it. And if you want to, get some good energy, it gives you a good kick without the crash, without the sugar, without the junk in there, no jitters. Head over to w.gg and get some tasty stuff. I'm not going to say the drift line. My favorite flavor is Galaxy Grenade. This is what I've been drinking a lot of. It's fantastic. It is watermelon, guava, and lime. It's really good. That's what I pretty much drink. I'll drink that a few times in the week during work. It helps me I can just imagine things and then boom, it just happens. Like that's how it makes you more powerful. Like it gives you.
See, so Dubby does not only some incredible stuff to your junk, but it also, if you drink Dubby, it will literally give you powers of the mind where you're able to not only see the future, you're able to know what the lottery winning numbers are this week. That's what happens when you get Dubby, but it also makes your pee-pee really hard.
It gives you the concentration power of 10 men.
Exactly. And the girthiness of 12. Like average size. 12 average girthiness.
Yeah, so head over to w.gg, support us over there, code SGB, 10% off. We get money back as well. You're basically just paying.
Because Dubby, we
us.
have the meats. Right? No, is that not a...
No.
Is that... No.
That was back. That was back about a few minutes ago. You got to go back.
That was
the top of the show.
That's a different thing. All right.
That's not their tagline?
No.
Well, it should be. It should be.
All right, let's get back to the show.
Yeah, W the drink company. We have the meats. Yeah, that makes sense. That works. Works out real good.
All right, it's now time for me to ask you guys what you playing. So JJ, tell me, what have you been playing?
I'm ashamed to tell you guys I haven't played. I haven't played nothing this week.
That's what I thought.
Look, guys, I started a new job. I am doing that diligently. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm lame. I'm lame and I'm old.
Please no. Continue. I'm playing the nice violin for you in an E chord. Go ahead.
I got kids. I'm busy. Yeah. It's you know how that goes.
No, I don't.
But I did get a little bit of time to catch up on. Yeah, you don't know how that goes, right? That I know of, right?
Nope.
So I've been catching a little bit of the Ozark TV show. I've been a big fan of it, and I had not watched the most recent season, so I've caught maybe 4 or 5 episodes of that this week. And I don't know if you guys ever saw this show. Think Breaking Bad, but in the Ozarks. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a fun show on Netflix.
The Ozarks, like in Missouri?
Yes, it's in the hillbilly area. Okay. The drug cartel.
I'm familiar. I've been there before in real life. Yeah. The drug cartel ends up having their money guy goes down there to like launder money in the Ozarks, and then runs across like hillbillies that are selling heroin and all kinds of craziness happen. It's starring Justin Bateman. And
starring Justin Bieber?
I thought you were going to say Justin Bieber. Like, whoa, Justin Bieber. All right.
Justin Bieber, yeah.
My wife is in.
No, it's Jason Bateman. And it's a lot of fun. Really fun show.
That's good. I'm glad he was able to, make the jump from music to acting. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wow. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. I love that boy. He's still like 14, right?
I have no idea.
I still picture him as a little like 14-year-old boy. Baby, oh.
I think everybody our age does. Yep. And kids don't know who he is.
Oh, man. All right. Adrian, what you been playing?
I have been splatting fools left and right.
On their backs?
The heck out of no, not on their back. Not on their back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. No. I use the big paint roller, so I'm running them over.
Oh.
Yeah, been playing the heck out of Splatoon. Splatoon 3, actually. Just wanted to clarify the new one that just came out.
3.
Love it to death. I have actually caught myself with my big giant TV over here, not playing it on that, but I'll set up my little tabletop OLED right there just because I like the way that the colors look so much on the display
It's
there.
so pretty.
And I'll
I
just
love
play
my
it like
OLED.
that.
Love it.
I am a handheld boy right now. Like everything that I can play, I don't even play it on the TV. I have my dock set up and everything, but just the way that it looks on Switch OLED is just, it's phenomenal. It makes me want to just play it there. And the fact that the kickstand is so much better, it makes it way easier to do that now too. Just thinking about it now.
The kickstand is phenomenal. The screen is phenomenal. I've also just been playing Splatoon 3, and it's just so like, look at this. It's just so beautiful. You can't see it obviously.
You have to be there.
Yeah, it looks so janky. It looks garbage on the camera. But let me tell you, like, look how big the screen is. Like, look at
yes,
that's
so
the other
much
thing.
more real estate.
It's
welcome
so
to
big.
Nintendo Switch, boys. That's what this is now. Sorry, we are.
Right. Just
consoles provided by no, not yet. One day,
maybe.
One day.
3 people in my home have Switches and I do not.
Well, now's your time to get the Switch OLED. There's a bigger screen. You're gonna rub it in their face. It's like, hey, my Switch is better than yours.
A bigger, brighter, more vibrant, gorgeous.
The white display. Joy-Cons are gorgeous. Yeah, look at this kickstand. Look at this dang kickstand. This is like.
Kick it out for me there. There you go.
Oh,
look at
that.
Kick it all the way out. Kick it all the way out.
Oh, yeah. I can
look
go
at that
forward. Like, isn't that crazy? Almost full 180 degree of motion there. Absolutely insane. It's a beautiful thing. So much better than the little janky like toothpick that they had on the other one. Splatoon 3 is such a fun game. We talked about it over on Video Games, a Comedy show we did on Saturday with our buddy Jeremy. So go check that episode out if you want even more in-depth discussion, because he also had Patrick from Nintendo Cartridge Society talking about it. But fantastic game. My first Splatoon. I'd never played a Splatoon game before, and it wasn't until the trailer this summer that they showed off. Adrian is like talking it up, how amazing it was, and I'm like, the trailer did look kind of cool, but I was never super interested in it because I was like,
dude, I am a video game Pied Piper, man.
Yeah, right.
I just Splatoon is so good, and everybody buys it. Everybody buys it.
Yeah, and I wasn't 100% hooked because I'm like, I'm just not a multiplayer gamer necessarily, but it looks fun, it looks cool, and I was like, well, maybe I'll get the second one. But then I was, one of the big things with Splatoon is like they do the Splatfest, the different events and stuff. Yeah, and the old game they've kind of sunset. They're not doing any more updates, no more Splatfest. So I'm like, you know what? Here's my chance. If I'm ever going to get in this game, it has to be now, right at the beginning, because otherwise, if you wait, then it fades off into oblivion and it gets less and less people playing and stuff. So I picked it up, and dude, yeah, this game's a blast. It's colorful, it's fun. The multiplayer is surprisingly fun. So for those of you who don't know,
exactly what I'm looking for in a shooter that I'm not getting in like Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that. I think the only thing I can liken it to as far as like it being a fun shooter, people are gonna hate me for this, but honestly, is Fortnite. Fortnite is fun to play, like Splatoon is fun to play.
Yeah,
and I guess it's because they have that cartoony, goofy element to it. That's what I'm looking for.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's so people who haven't played it, like basically the gist is like it is a shooter. You are like trying to take out the other team, but really you win the game by who has the most coverage on the map, like with their ink. So there's 2 different color teams, and it changes every time. Like
or 3.
Oh, I haven't played that. I haven't played a 3-player match yet, or a 3-team match.
That's in Splatfest. That's
okay. Yeah, right now I've just been like doing that. Yeah, with two teams, and yeah, you're throwing ink all over, trying to get everything covered with your color. while also taking out the other team so that that way, they're not covering up your color. And at the end, it shows a map, which is really cool. I love that. It shows the whole map and it actually shows where all the paint coverage is, and it has like the two cats. The cats are so random. I don't understand the cats, but they're cute. And then the one gets fatter or skinnier depending on like who won. Like it's a little graph. It's like tallying up all the ink on the map. So cool. And then it actually even has like a story mode, which has been a lot of fun. I like the way the campaign has been set up as well. And that was great for me because I could just learn the controls there. Like, okay, how do you control this thing? Because it uses motion controls a lot with the aiming and stuff like that. But yeah, fantastic game. A lot of fun. Highly recommend. If you want to play with us, I mean, Adrian and I are playing it. So hit us up on Discord.
Just holler.
That'd be sick. How big's a team? Is it like 4? It's 4? Okay. So we just need 2 more people. We can get 2 more people. Let's play. That'd be sick. Because I think you were saying that's like a new feature in the new one where you can actually squad up with friends, right?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do that in the old ones?
You had to like, basically somebody would start a lobby and anybody could get in like around the world. Okay. So the person would have to go, I'm starting it now, and then everybody else has to jump in right behind them, or else you don't get in. A
total guess. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah. Not being like for a multiplayer
game.
It's
Nintendo.
They
didn't know how to
with
do
friends.
Online.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, now you can. So hit us up.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Thank goodness.
All right. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, if you love what we do, first and foremost, I'm going to ask you all to go rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcast. And if you watch it on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We get a lot of views and that are from non-subscribers. So if you're watching our stuff, please subscribe. That would be fantastic. Tell your friends about it. Have them subscribe. And even if you're not going to watch, just subscribe because it's free. It costs $0 to go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. And it helps, more people find our stuff. So hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, leave reviews on podcast services. That means way more than you might realize. If you want to support us financially, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys where you can support us just $1 a month, get episodes early and ad-free. And again, we are so appreciative to all the folks over there who support us each and every month, above and beyond, and it helps us make cool shows like this one, like Book Club, and like more to come. We'll see. Obviously, we still have the Patreon goal on there of our Super Later Boys, which may or may not happen someday. I don't know. I'd like it to. But we also have some cool stuff coming up here in October for Spooky Gamer Boys. You guys know. If you're longtime listeners of Super Gamer Boys, every October we go buck wild. So stay tuned for that. It'll be fun. sgbstore.com. You can support us over there and get some sweet merch like t-shirts, mugs, and the like. W.GG, use our code SGB. Shout out to Jack, Sriracha, and Yate. Please go check out their stuff. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Music. And if you want to help and support them, say thank you for allowing Super Gamer Boys to use your music, go over and find Yate on Bandcamp. Purchase those albums and support them financially because they make good stuff. And I want them to keep making awesome stuff. I haven't done this in a while. I'm losing my spot here. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You can find me pretty much everywhere online at Homeboy.
And JJ,
I'll keep you posted on that.
Oh, is there something new coming?
No, I just might be taking a break. Remember I was saying?
Right. True. I thought you were like starting your own social media brand or something. I don't know. Like,
oh no, that requires too much energy and thought. No, thank you.
JJ, where can they find you at?
You guys can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at JJ Purdom, and you can always find me over at the Suplex City Wrestling Podcast on Twitter at Suplex City Pod. We talk each and every week about pro wrestling. Of course, produced right here by the Super Gamer Boys. Garrett does the editing each and every week. Tries to make me and Scott Falder sound halfway decent as we talk about guys pretending to fight in their underwear. It's one of my favorite times of the week. We talk about it each week. Thanks.
In their underwear? Sounds like Cromgrim.
Well, they're not yellowed though. You know what I mean? Like that guy, that was disgusting. Like that guy, it looked like they were pretty stained. How I imagine yours are, Garrett, in real life.
That's why I wear black underwear.
Smart man.
Very good.
All right. That's all I got for the show this week. JJ, take us away.
All right, for Adrian Homeboy Holmes, for Garrett Morlang, for myself, JJ Purdon, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
I thought the Arby's joke was really good. I'm surprised you guys didn't back me up on that one.
I just
No?
couldn't stop
Still?
thinking about that dude's man pocket. That's